guns and shooting some guns and probably do. JR's back for round 8.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Better Than Broadway.
Hi, boys.
What's up? A familiar face is back. What's up, JR?
Hey,
Not much. How's it going? Glad to be back.
Yeah,
round 8 with JR. This is gonna be a good time.
Round 8, round 18. I've lost count. I think we're on episode 33, 34 of this year. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm excited. There has been some great wrestling recently. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
So last night, tonight is Sunday. We will be posting on Monday. So Saturday night was AEW's Full Gear at the Kia Center in LA. Great show. A lot of back and forth, a lot of upsets, actually. A lot of upsets.
Yeah.
First thing, Claudio Castagnoli fought Buddy Matthews.
Great match.
Great match. Yeah, it was they play with your emotions a little bit because the House of Black was they're a powerful stable. And Buddy Matthews, I was like, actually, he could have a shot at beating Claudio. And then Claudio locked in like the spinorama, then the sharpshooter. Buddy tried to fight out of it. Then he had to tap for his life because otherwise Claudio's going to snap his spine in half. Cool. So, I mean, that's, guys, if you don't know what the sharpshooter feels like, it's basically taking your spine like this and then taking half of it and inverting it 90 degrees.
They call it a Stu Hart smile.
Stu Hart.
Well, it's like I call Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I do that class involuntary yoga. Yeah. I'm not doing the stretching. Someone's doing the stretching for me.
Death Jitsu.
Death Jitsu.
Why not? Big fan of Death Jitsu myself.
I mean, is that where like you have to tap out or you die?
Huh? Always.
That's fair. I mean, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, you do.
JR,
yoga. It's murder yoga.
What is your opinion of murder yoga?
Oh, it's good. Weeds out the weaks.
The weak don't survive.
Yeah.
Don't survive. I must break you.
There's no mercy in this dojo.
Nope.
I mean,
Claudio defeating Buddy Matthews by submission is always a good time.
By spine inversion.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, but also congrats to Buddy Matthews and Mommy getting engaged. That's a big one.
That's right. Yeah, Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley are engaged. That's fun. Hooray.
Yeah. On that note, I can't imagine what it's like being a pro wrestler in two different organizations, because like you can't syncing up schedules has got to be difficult.
Gotta be.
Yeah, like Alistair and Zelina.
Exactly.
Yeah. So from what I understand, since COVID, it's been they'll work shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then they have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off the middle of the week. Dynamite airs on Wednesday.
Yep.
Rampage is taped on Wednesday, and then Collision is live on Saturday. So really the only night that they wouldn't potentially be together, or if they just traveled together, which would probably be the move, is Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, they could, you could obviously travel together. You could, run your podcasts and do the things. I know Zelina Vega does Twitch. Mia Yim does Twitch. I don't know if Rhea does Twitch, but
are you plugging Twitch right now?
No, not at all. Be on Twitch. We'd probably be a lot of fun on Twitch.
We can explore that option. We'll do the next business meeting.
Who likes to play video games? I'm not crazy about video games. I'm shit at them, but I mean, you guys can play video games, and I'll watch and talk about wrestling.
But that's the thing. Like, yeah, I wouldn't. So this is the exact moment of like why some pro wrestlers need managers who are not quite good on the mic. When I'm playing video games, I'm like dialed in. I'm not talking. So I would need somebody to be the mouthpiece as I'm playing.
To be your Bobby the Brain Heenan, if you will.
Exactly.
Your
So
Jimmy
yeah,
Hart.
if you want to play Twitch, if you want to be on Twitch, narrate my gaming experience. But I can't like. So right now I'm playing Starfield. There's a lot of role playing. There's a lot of like puzzle shit. There's a lot of downtime. Not a lot of like running and gunning, just like doing crazy stuff. I would need to play like a good lighthearted comedy game like The Last of Us Part 2. That would be a good Twitch narration.
Comedy
game? It's a lighthearted family game. About a daughter, a daughter figure and a father figure coming together, apart again. Before you just go with it, Rob. Just go with it.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna, as someone who's not really a gamer, I'm just gonna let you have that. I watched 3 episodes of that TV show and I was like this
Mm-hmm.
the whole time. I don't think my eyes blinked once. I was like, this is intense. Whoa.
I mean, intense for a family show.
Sure, absolutely.
Totally.
Bring the kids. Whole family. Eddie Kingston, your Ring of Honor champion, defeats Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh in a 5-on-1 handicap match. With the help of an old friend, Santana. Mike Santana shows up and takes away the guitar from Jay Lethal that Jarrett put on the ring apron and smashes Sanjay Dutt over the head with it, which was adorable. And then Eddie Kingston with his backhand pimp slap. God, that man's got a strong pimp hand. Knocks Jay Lethal the hell out, gets the 1-2-3, and then he and Santana are in the ring raising each other's arms. Needless to say, Eddie Kingston is my favorite wrestler in AEW, more than MJF, more than Joe, more than anybody else, just because he is the realest guy in the room, no question. It's the best.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston is like in a way he's kind of the new Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
That's a bold statement. And I know I said it and now I'm backing it up. But like Eddie Kingston is like the blue collar, the everyman who's going up against the man who's like, you don't belong here. And he's like, fuck you, I do. And he talks he talks the talk and he walks the walk. He'll do whatever you need him to do. It's just like you think of a traditional professional wrestler and Eddie Kingston doesn't look it, but that's the only thing he doesn't have. Everything else is top notch.
JR, if you had a drunk uncle that loved pro wrestling and his name was Eddie Kingston, what more would you want in a wrestler? Honest to God.
Yeah, nothing else. I think he'd be a little browner though. That's all.
There you go. Eddie Kingston looks like he just rolls out of bed, puts on a singlet and a pair of shorts, takes 6 swigs of Jack Daniels, and just goes. It's amazing.
Yes, that is a appropriate portrayal of that man.
Eddie Kingston, if you're out there and you're listening to Better Than Broadway, please come on our show. Please talk to us. I'd love to talk to you about Japanese wrestling, being the New Japan strong champion, being the Ring of Honor champion, and being in this new Continental Champions tournament. God alive, you're the best, Eddie Kingston. You're the best.
He made a really big point of like after he won that match against Jay Lethal, he was saying he's putting both his strong champion and his Ring of Honor championship on the line for this Continental tournament, to where whoever wins the tournament ends up with all 3 as a triple crown.
Yeah,
dude, The
Wow.
the cojones on Kingston. Hashtag
I'd, I'd love to see
Kingston
Kingston.
cojones.
I'd love to see Kingston and Brian Danielson in that final for all these championships because Daniel Bryan has been Ring of Honor champion and Pure champion, and you know um, he's good for business. Obviously, he's gonna Brian Danielson's gonna work Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom in January. So that's gonna be awesome. But yeah, there's a lot going on there. JR again. Why is Eddie Kingston just the best? Like I can't get over it. Like he's just the best.
I mean, like Ryan said before, he can talk, he can wrestle. He looks like your average dude just walking down the street. So everyone gravitates towards him.
And he's been through some shit. Like he's been through the struggle. And that's what that's to identify with him. Like, oh yeah, like I've got some weight on me. I've had some downs in my life, and he's like, I'm gonna come at you. I'm gonna mess you up.
Yeah, that was on his Players Tribune. I think like letter to himself, I believe. That was actually a really good read. If you haven't read that,
what was that again, JR?
It's a Players Tribune. It's like athletes that write letters to either themselves in the past or future, or just tell us about their struggle. And he talked about like having suicide thoughts and like grown up poor and like not.
I love that.
Yeah, like,
let's post that in the show notes, guys. That will be in the show notes. JR, if you'll send that to me, I will make sure it happens.
Yep.
Oh yeah, guys.
And then
we got MJF and Samoa Joe. MJF finally taking Samoa Joe's offer to be his tag team partner for the Ring of Honor Championships, Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, against the Guns, Austin and Colton. Joe wins that match by submission after Adam Cole comes out
by nakedly choking somebody out.
And rear naked choke, the coquina clutch.
Oh, right. Rear naked choke, my bad.
There you go.
I don't think we need to see Joe naked.
And then after the match, Adam Cole stands there at ringside with his little crutches and his little boot on him and watches MJF's leg get shattered to pieces by the Guns. JR, Bullet Club Gold has been probably the second or third hottest thing in AEW, with MJF and the Acclaim probably being 1 and 2. Where do we see the Guns going now that they're out of the title picture after losing to Joe and MJF?
I'm not sure. The only thing I think of is they'll just be like hired, no pun intended, hired guns for someone to go mess up their feud or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Jay White and Guns double down on MJF. You mean like he's not just gonna go away. He's gonna come back harder. Like, I had you. Who knows? I think that leaves him. Oh, okay. Like, when is Adam Cole supposed to be back?
I don't know.
Adam Cole comes. Let's just say Adam Cole comes back next month. There's Jay White Guns trios match versus Samoa Joe, MJF, Cole. Like, there's a lot more water can be milked out of this. More milk can be milked.
Maybe so. We'll definitely see, but it was a big blow for Bullet Club Gold over the last couple of weeks because we'll get to the Jay White MJF main event later, but the Guns have lost to several matches. The Juice Robinson has lost. Really, the only one who got any traction was Jay White 2 weeks ago when he pinned MJF in the ring during Rampage. But that's really it. Like, I mean, they really have not done a whole lot with these guys, and other than putting them in the main event, and now you're just kind of squashing them. It's too bad, but like hopefully we'll see something for Bullet Club Gold because they've got something special, and I love the fat head of Jay White that they bring to the ring where he's pointing the gun. I love that. I think it's great.
I still think they're still all looking strong because we got to talk about the MJF Jay White thing towards the end, so I'll say that for later.
Yeah. So
The
let's go ahead and move on. The Full Gear opens up with Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland, the former Edge, with Ric Flair, versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. I love the fact that they all came out in face paint and black and white and the jackets and everything. I thought that was a rad take. This wasn't any kind of crazy match. It was just a 6-man tag match with rules. It wasn't a blood and guts. It wasn't a, you know, no DQ match. It was just a regular match. And these guys came dressed for battle, and you love to see it. JR, how do we like Adam Copeland being in AEW after Edge departed from WWE?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see him wrestle. Like he said, he had more to do in the wrestling universe by wrestle all these people he's never wrestled before. So it's nice to see him for himself take on a different challenge of the crowd and how they react to him. Because obviously, being in WWE, you have to wrestle a certain way. You can't really branch out on different things that he probably was told not to do. Or
you have to wrestle pretty safe in WWE, correct?
Yeah.
And clearly that is not the case in AEW.
Yeah, with
Not the case.
old man Sting jumping off everything possible.
Speaking of which, I can't imagine, like, how old is Nick Wayne? What, 19, 18, 19?
Something like that. He's young. He's
Dude,
18, 19 years old.
How much of a fucking privilege is that Nick Wayne got to wrestle with Sting before Sting retires? And Edge.
And Adam Copeland and Christian.
Yeah, but like they've been around, they've had crossings. But Nick Wayne is 18, 19. He can't even buy a beer yet. They have to give him Diet Coke at the arena. Or Pepsi Cola. Who knows?
Yeah, but
or duels. I don't know. Like, so I mean, Nick Wayne is the benefactor, is the benefactor here. What a pleasure. You're welcome, Nick Wayne. And clearly you should be thanking Darby Allin because isn't that who found him in the garage? Yeah. You're welcome.
Time will tell what's going to happen with Nick Wayne. I think that kid's got a bright future ahead of him. He's got a lot of tools. Good-looking kid, put on a little muscle. He ought to be a lot of fun to watch for years. I mean, hell, MJF put on 30 pounds of muscle in like a year. That kid can put on 30 pounds of muscle in a year. No issue. Just load him up. Give him all the gear. Put him in the gym. He'd be fine.
Yeah, that's what does the gear in the gym.
I know. I'm a big fan of callbacks and long-term storytelling, as y'all know. Did anybody catch the bit in the match the other night where Christian Cage low-blowed Ric Flair? That's a receipt. That's a receipt from 2020.
Really?
Ric Flair low-blowed Christian in some match. I can't remember what the match was, but Ric Flair gave Christian a low blow, so Christian returned the favor last night. You gotta love a good callback.
Christian, like, he did that and he was like milked it, like
oh yeah.
I mean,
poor Ric Flair. JR, is Ric Flair getting in an AEW ring in wrestling? Is he gonna unretire for the 700th time? Is he going to die in a wrestling ring? Please say no.
Yeah, of course. You know he's going to be back in the ring. I mean,
I don't want this.
No. I don't think anyone but him wants it.
Yeah. So okay, so does that by proxy make Ric Flair a Spartan? He has to go out on a shield. Is Ric Flair going to be in the next 300 movie, 303, 4?
Well,
just out there.
80-year-old Spartans going to battle. I can see it now. Poor Ric Flair.
Yeah, dude.
He is the wrestler. He
I
is the
mean,
wrestler.
when your whole life is this business, how can you really walk away?
Yeah. I love weightlifting. It's hard for me to walk away from it.
Yeah, dude. So, but anyways, according to the match, Luchasaurus is overpowered by 3 finishers:
Love
Sting,
that.
Adam Copeland, and then Darby Allin hits him with the coffin drop, and they put out Luchasaurus.
Perfect.
I mean, if I were going to beat Luchasaurus, I'd just hit him with a cement truck, and then pull the cement down, and then bury him. That's what I would do.
Call that finisher the fossilizer? Is that what you call it?
Exactly. And then I'd go in there with a little drill, take out his little DNA, his dino DNA, and then clone him.
Oh, no.
You
See that happen.
Spare any expense, would you?
Spare no expense.
You know, Ryan, they've made movies about this and it didn't end well. Just saying. They made 6 of these movies.
What do movies know?
Oh, a lot. Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy in a fantastic match. It was a short match, but really good match. Defeats John Moxley by pinfall for the AEW International Championship. Are we sold on Orange Cassidy, or are we still just kind of like?
I think Moxley still looks strong. I mean, it took what 5 or 6 orange punches to put him out. Yeah. But the thing is, Moxley, like you look at like wrestlers out there who like clearly work out. Moxley looks like he's working down the docks. You know, he's like pulling cargo off the container. He's that kind of ripped. He's not bulky. He is just normally, I work construction. I haul bricks for a living. These hands are bricks. I'm going to kill you. So the fact that it took like 4 or 5 orange punches, yeah, that's cool.
Big fan of Blackpool Combat Club and everybody in that shit. JR, with Moxley taking this loss to OC, is he finally going to get that well-deserved time off that he has desperately needed? Or are they just going to throw him into something like, you know, I don't know, the ROH Tag Championships, or just give him some filler bullshit to do? Like, what are they going to do with him now?
Hopefully he gets his rest. He definitely needs it.
God, he needs it.
But
would Moxley take it?
Yeah. Well, Moxley should take it, but I have a feeling those.
Should Ric Flair retire? Yes. Is he? No.
No.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, his wife probably won't let him bleed at home, so he probably won't take the rest.
You know, when I was watching the show last night with Kate, you know, they're pushing DraftKings, and they're like, "Oh, who's going to win the match?" I'm like, there has to be a DraftKings bet of how long the match goes on before Moxley bleeds. What's the over under there?
Has to be.
Yeah,
probably. It was like 6. It was like 6 minutes last night.
That's that. I'm taking the under on that all day. Goddamn. 2 minutes into the match, shit. Who was he working a couple of months ago, and he was bleeding within 30 seconds of the match starting? Who the fuck was that? That was ridiculous. I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, you love to bleed, but come on, man. Like, the bell just rang.
He's like, I'm sorry, we're in Denver. You know, my nose is bleeding.
Christ. I don't know. Looking forward to seeing John Moxley in a couple of months once he gets some rest and heals up. I get the Blackpool Combat Club really needs him as the leader, but you know, Danielson's around, you know, with his one eye, and he's hanging out having a good time. So maybe they'll give that. In an underwhelming match for me, Timeless Tony Storm, who has the best gimmick in AEW right now, defeated Hikaru Shida, the women's AEW World Women's Champion, by pinfall in about 10-minute match.
By steel enforced butt slam.
This women's championship is now a worthless title.
Tell me more.
Hot potatoed.
Hot potato. Thank you, JR. Couldn't have said it better myself. In the last, I don't know, 6 months, Hikaru Shida has held it 3 times. Tony's now held it 3 times. Soraya's held it a couple. Soraya's held it. Britt Baker's had it. I mean, it's just kind of getting passed around. Um, I understand having Soraya win at Wembley because it was a moment. Her family was there. She's from there. It was her great big comeback. I get it. 4 weeks later, she loses the title. Somebody else wins it. Sheeta gets it back. We're just doing this, you know.
So, Rob, what is your solution to fix this?
Tony Storm needs to be champion for 6 to 8 months at minimum. If this title is going to have any prestige at all. I'm looking at the TBS Championship, which that's another match that's on this card. Before we get into that match, 2 women have held that title, and that's Jade Cargill for a year and Chris Statlander for nearly 6 months. And now you have a a triple threat for that title, which we'll get to later. But she's defended it. She's faced Willow. She's faced Sky. She's faced Julia Hart once. She's faced Willow. She's faced several women for that title. She beat Jade Cargill clean twice. Once and then on her way out in her last match. Great ending to that match, by the way. JR, what do you think? Is the AEW Women's Championship less or more prestigious right now than the TBS Championship is?
It has to be less. I mean, if you have that many people getting it every 3 to 4 weeks now, it doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
I mean, it's like Charlotte Flair's titles.
Yeah.
Or maybe the way we should be looking at this as like it is everyone else is in the gym at night when the TBS champion is at home eating bonbons. Once you win the title, you can relax. It's like, no, once you win the title, everything's harder. And everyone else is at home doing push-ups. And you're like sipping the victory wine, the victory champagne. So maybe everyone's just getting better. Maybe everyone's doing squats, right? So that when Tony Storm did the butt slam, it nearly killed Kadoshita.
I'm looking at your championship reigns. We've had 12 champions since the inception of the title in 2019. Okay. The longest reign with that title was Sheeta, 372 days. Britt Baker, 290 days. Thunder Rosa, 172 days. The title would then be vacated. And now we've got 76, 66, 25, 44, 39. So everybody's getting this title for, 2 months.
Dude, I mean, like that's kind of on par with the UFC. Once you get on top, everyone's gunning for you.
Yeah.
Like maybe you held the title for one defense, or maybe you don't. So no, I think this is on par with, like fist fighting versus wrestling. Because in the UFC, you can't spear somebody. You can't pick them up over your head and slam them. Totally different sport. UFC is aggressive hugging and slapping. This is professional wrestling we're talking about.
By comparison, the AEW World Championship has been 8 reigns. 8. So
Jericho, Moxley, Omega,
CM Punk,
Omega, and Moxley, Punk,
MJF,
Hangman, and MJF.
Yeah. So, you do what you do, but it is what it is. Kind of happy that Toni Storm has that title because her character right now is hilarious. Yes. I think it's great. I love the Joan Crawford, Marilyn, old iconic, golden age of film character that she's playing, just absolutely unhinged. JR, do you see Toni Storm with a lengthy title reign, and who comes after her next?
Yeah, I see her with a lengthy title reign, and I'm not sure who comes after her next. The only person I can think of is maybe Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
If they want to, I don't know if they're talking with her or not, but that's the only person I can think of that would be different that she hasn't faced yet, or that's
I'll
not
tell you
in
what
something
worries.
right now.
I'll tell you what worries me. Ronda Rousey worked for Ring of Honor over the weekend.
Yes, I saw that.
And it was just like, what is going on? It's Friday night. She's in an ROH taping. She's in a ring. She's in her gear. What's going on? So I'm not saying they're gonna bring Ronda in. Maybe it was just because she and Marina Shafir are friends and it was in LA and it was just convenient. And she was like, screw it, I want to work. And Tony was like, sure. But I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm just, Ronda's great. Ronda's great. She's a lot of fun, but I am worried to death that they are going to put that title on Ronda Rousey and they're going to let Ronda Rousey beat the brakes off of Toni Storm in a 2-minute squash, and she's going to be our next AEW Women's Champion.
No.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
I mean, if she wants to beat Athena for the ROH Women's Championship, cool. That's cool. I'm down. But
then move
I don't
Athena to AEW would be nice.
and move Athena to AEW. But I don't know. There's a whole lot going on there, but we'll worry about that another time.
So Ronda Rousey retired from WWE, but she's not retired from pro wrestling. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. She's worked 2 matches since leaving WWE, and they've all been in the last 5 days. So good for her. Ricky Starks and Big Bill, the former Big Cass, the ROH World Tag Team Champions, in a 4-way ladder match, defeat La Faction Ingobernable. Big fan of Roosh myself. FTR and the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King. The deal
This was a
with
banger.
Huh?
This whole match was a banger. It was
Yeah,
a gang of
really
people
was.
banging.
Nah, watch out. Family show. I'm here for it. I like the idea of Ricky Starks being a tag champion with Bill because, it's got the Shawn Michaels Diesel feel to it, which I'm all about.
A little bit.
But that's as far as it goes for me. It feels like, as much as I like Ricky Starks and as much as I think Bill is a great worker, it still feels like they're just, Pepsi Light, great value.
Bill needs to step up. He needs to.
Yeah, man.
He can't just be, I'm this intimidating tall guy. Everyone has that. Sanjay Singh, Brian Cage. Okay, you're giant. I get it.
Yeah.
The Big Show, or I'm sorry, Paul White.
Paul White, no more BS.
Be a presence. Don't just be a big guy. Be a presence. Make people fear you. And I that's what I want for Big Bill. Like, make Luchasaurus too. Like Luchasaurus, would go out there when he was teaming with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy did most of the work. Luchasaurus would come in, choke slam, whatever, go through his moveset, and then go out. And that was it. And now that he's evil, that's what makes Luchasaurus cool. Although I am wondering, where the fuck is Jungle Boy these days, Jack Perry?
He's still suspended.
Still in suspension.
Oh, he's suspended. My apologies. Was that for the fight with CM Punk?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And for the fact that he did the whole thing with the glass, the real glass in the car. Yeah, they got mad about that too. JR, I think we both agree that Ricky Starks is an absolute superstar in the making. The kid's got it all. I'm a huge fan. Two-part question. Does being with Big Bill help or hurt Ricky Starks? And does being with Ricky Starks help or hurt Big Bill? Who basically gets more from this relationship? Starks or Bill?
I think Bill
I think you know
does.
the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill definitely gets more from Ricky Starks. Like, I don't think, like, when they split up Enzo and Cass, Enzo was way better because he could talk, he could wrestle decently. Bill kind of just fell off the map essentially. So, like, you got the same thing with this with Starks being Enzo. Starks can wrestle, he can talk, he can, you know, do what he needs to do. But Bill's kind of just like a big ass robot that really doesn't. He's not very charismatic. He's not the greatest big man.
I'm sorry. What was Bret Hart's top 3 things you need to be a pro wrestler?
I know one of them's like, don't hurt the other person.
No, he had a big thing. It's like, look, you have to have the look, you got to be able to wrestle, you got to be good on the mic. These 3 things what makes a superstar pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Big Bill has the look. Big Bill doesn't have the mic skills. Now that we're down, he kind of has the wrestle ability. But, like, dude, Big Bill's big. Vader was big too. Vader was doing fucking moonsaults and shit.
But Vader had Harley Race to talk for him.
Big Bill needs to be bigger. Bigger. He needs to change his name to Bigger Bill. Yeah.
Bigger Bill.
Bigger Bill.
Oh my God. JR, who do you think is the greatest big man in the history of professional wrestling, not named The Undertaker?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh.
I know who I think it is, but I want to know who you think it is.
Greatest big man. What are we considering big? Like fat, like Vader, or like tall?
Just like big, like either big or tall, like powerhouse. Like when you think of a big powerhouse guy who's like 6'4", 6'5", up to 7 feet tall, you got Big Bill, you got Big Show, you got Khali, you got guys like that.
I'd probably
Andre,
go with...
you got Nash, you got those kind of guys. Who's the greatest big guy? Chef, I'm going to ask you the same question. Get your thoughts together.
I'd probably go with Vader or Kevin Nash.
Okay. Chef?
My initial thought was Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Also known as Diesel.
Kane was third.
Kane's, yeah. But I mean, honestly, like, okay, I'm gonna say Brock Lesnar. He was doing moonsaults. Like he was until he got hurt. Until Brock got hurt, he was F5ing sharks in the ocean.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, Brock Lesnar is literally the incarnation of the Hulk.
Came out of left field. Holy Christ. The SummerSlam 2004 promo. Jesus. I hate you so much.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. He punched a shark in the face, picked it up, F-bombed it. Some reason Brock Lesnar running around on the beach in his wrestling gear. I don't know. Like, dude, whatever you do on your vacation time, you can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Jesus. You're a mess. Love it. I'm with you guys on Kevin Nash because again, he had the look, he had wrestling ability, and he was good on the mic. Vader was amazing. Vader had Harley Race as his mouthpiece for at least 2/3 of his wrestling career. Now, Vader also wrestled a match in Japan where his eyeball fell out and he shoved it back in and finished the match. So that man's a god. But
Trevor Murdoch, right?
No, this was years ago. This was like in the 90s. This was, before he went to WCW. Or maybe it was between WCW and WWF. I can't remember. But no, man, dude got hit so hard his eye just goes.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
He's like grabbing it, and he shoves the damn thing back in and keeps going. Like that's God damn it, I couldn't do that. I ain't that tough. But you know, I mean, you think about shit like that. I like Kevin Nash. I like that answer. Vader's a good answer. Brock's a great answer. Um, Unfortunately, I just feel like a lot of these guys today, while they're great, they're not on that level. And I don't know if because of the time we're living in with wrestling, that those guys are ever going to get to that level. Just don't. Satnam
Well,
Singh's never going to be world champion. Bill's never going to be
no,
a world champion. Brody King's probably never going to be world champion, and they're great. But
I love. Hey, can we use Brody King to segue into the next part?
yes,
Like,
please, because it's not the next. It's yeah.
who, who, who? Like, I love Brody King. He is my favorite big man right now. I mean, he
Yeah.
is a large motherfucker, um, covered in tattoos, like literally. Like they tell you, he stood there right here and took a tattoo gun and just shot the entire front of his body. Something on a sci-fi movie. Just, you're good. Like that scene in the Fifth Element where Lily puts like the eye makeup glasses on. All of a sudden, she has amazing makeup. They just did that front body cast on Brody King. He's all good. Yeah, the men's fatal four-way tag team titles was great.
Yeah.
It was a ladder match. And you gotta watch it. There's ladder matches, there's slams, there's here. But the biggest thing, this is guys, like as someone who fights semi-professionally, but I do fight professional fighters on a weekly basis. When somebody punches you in the butt, in the ass cheek, it hits your sciatica nerve, and basically the entire side of your body goes numb. Like especially that side of your leg. So if you
when you get dead legged.
yeah, like when you're climbing up the ladder and somebody punches you in the butt, all of a sudden you can't step. Yeah, that hinders your walk up the ladder. Facts, boys. Facts. Second degree black belt. I've been punched in the ass. My sciaticas are hurting right now. I'm telling you right now. These are what goes on.
We just need to clip that.
Oh my god. When you get punched in the ass, what was the timestamp on this, guys? What was the timestamp? When you get punched in the ass, your
about
sciatic
50
nerve
minutes.
goes down. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing television. It's what people want. They want the television.
I can tell you
Speaking
from
of what
firsthand
people
experience.
Speaking of what people want, this is the
Ed?
three-way for the AEW TBS Championship. Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, Sky Blue. The champ comes in on a 17-match win streak. Chris Statlander, Julia Hart finally gets her due and wins the TBS Championship. JR. Julia Hart, man, what a journey from cheerleader to getting misted in the face by Malachi Black to turning dark to turning other people dark, and now she's a champ. And she just got married. What a good year
Who's
for
she
Julia
married
Hart.
to?
Lee Moriarty.
No.
What a great year for Julia Hart, man. Everything's coming up, Julia. You'd love to see it. She's like, what, 24 years old or younger, maybe
Yeah, I
22?
think she's a little bit younger than that. Yeah.
That kid's living her best life, man. Where do we see Julia Hart going with this championship? Is she gonna have a lengthy run?
I think Julia Hart has a bigger run than we all think about. I think Julia Hart takes over the House of Black and runs as the queen.
Oh yeah.
And runs Brody and Malachi and Buddy Matthews as like her minions. This could be a total just alien queen type of thing.
Yeah.
There's potential for this to be huge.
It's the Judgment Day, but better.
Yes.
So about the Judgment Day, her thing is very parallel to how Dom was. Dom was a very green wrestler with Ray, and then slowly each week you saw him get better and better, and then he won his North American Championship. Kind of like how Julia went from, as you said, cheerleader to getting involved in matches a very little bit, and then slowly grew into a champion. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Congratulations, Julia Hart. She
Yeah,
is your
totally.
AEW TBS champion in a fantastic match. Next match, this is my match of the night. And I think a lot of people
Are you
would
about to
agree.
say
It's
Swerve and
Swerve and
Hangman?
Hangman Texas Death Match. Dude, I was on Instagram today, and 4 of the pages I follow posted the video of Swerve bleeding in Adam Page's mouth. And all
And he
4
spit
pages
it
had
out.
those. Yeah, all 4 of those pages, the damn video got taken down because it went against town call guidelines for what is allowed on Instagram. And I'm thinking to myself, people are half naked on Instagram. Lots of people.
Yeah.
And and it's like they don't
Oh,
get
it's okay. I'm
canceled on the damn
gonna
internet.
put kitties over my nipples. That makes it okay. Like emojis.
But, dude, like this dude's like bleeding all over each other, and to the point where he's just like bleeding this guy's mouth. I'm like, oh, like gross. But you're gonna take that off the internet? Come on, man. I've seen worse. You guys look at Nature is Metal? You guys ever watch the Nature is Metal page on Instagram? You're watching animals getting just destroyed, like eaten, like
Dude,
lions
Nature's
and
Metal, man.
tigers.
That's what it's called.
Holy shit! And you're gonna, I mean, you gonna take this off the internet? Okay, 30-minute match. They crushed it, and then he hangs him with the damn chain. Like what the fuck? This guy's crazy.
That match.
Those guys put on show. Good for them.
100%. I was back and forth, because then because Heyman came out of the gate shooting buckshots, literally the buckshot lariat. Like 2 seconds in, he's hitting with it. Duct tape Swerve's hands together. You think, oh shit, this is gonna be in the bag, and Swerve fights back. He's like, no, and he starts taking the stable gun that he's been hit with like 7 times. He's like, no, this doesn't hurt me. This doesn't hurt me. And you're like, oh shit. Yeah. Watch that match. A gem of a match.
JR, is this the end of the feud between Hangman and Swerve? And is Swerve finally going to get his due and get a chance at the AEW championship that he richly deserves?
Yes. Yes and yes. At least it better be.
Swerve for champion 2024.
That'd be fun.
We don't want Joe. We don't want Wardlow. We want Swerve, damn it.
Well, I also like his Swerve has his dynasty that are like, his backup guys.
Just so we can have Nana on TV with the belt.
With the backup dancers.
Yes. God, Swerve. Nana came out with backup dancers last night.
It was good. It was good.
I love it. I love it. I don't know why. It's just that it's great television. It's great television. Is this just me, or is this my bathroom break match? But we've got the Golden Jets, Jericho and Omega defeating the Young Bucks by pinfall.
I took Bonzai out for a walk during the women's triple threat, but Bonzai was like, now or never, dude. I kind of wish I could have done it during this. Granted, I love Kenny Omega, and I love Jericho.
Yeah.
But what was the purpose of this match?
Just that the Bucks feel like they don't trust Jericho, and Omega's their friend, and now he's tagging with Jericho because they had that whole thing with the Don Callis family, and
that's a collision match. That's a collision match.
Yeah, it's a
they're
main
both from
event
Winnipeg, and
Uh,
I don't like.
can we talk about something real fast that we
Yes.
talked about last week? AEW has signed Will Ospreay,
Yes, boy.
which we were talking last week, like, oh, he's not going to go AEW because he doesn't want to be stateside, but now he's okay with it.
Well, I think too, you got to remember his contract does not end with Japan until February.
Right.
So he's got 3 months to get his family moved and find them housing. I mean, he can probably still do dates internationally the way a lot of them do. I mean, uh, Roosh still does things with CMLL, and Eddie Kingston is doing New Japan Strong. A lot of AEW wrestlers go over to Japan. A lot of them come here. So I think it's probably going to be a solid move for Ospreay because he's getting American money. He's getting AEW money, which is almost as good as WWE money. And now it's just opportunities. I mean, JR, what do you think? Is this the best move for Will, or is this kind of just a money grab?
It could be a little bit of both. He gets the flexibility of essentially making his own schedule. If he's signed with WWE, he'd have to be here XYZ days every week, unless he gets that Brock or Roman deal. But they'd probably not give him that deal, obviously. But yeah, he gets to make his own schedule. So,
Oh, yeah.
It's the Trader Joe's. It's the Trader Joe's version of pro wrestling.
There you go. Talking about free agents, there is a rumor that WWE wants Kazuchika Okada.
I saw that.
Holy shit. And he and Nakamura are really good friends. They're buddies. And the way they've been booking Nakamura lately, I mean, obviously he didn't win the championship from Seth Rollins, which I think was a mistake. But, can you imagine seeing Okada in a WWE ring? Can you see the Rainmaker in WWE? Like, holy crap. JR, I mean, Okada, the Rainmaker himself.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but could he do the things that he does now in WWE?
Oh.
That's the only. Will we get a watered down Okada, or?
I think it's a watered down Okada.
Yeah.
Like you go to WWE for stability and money. You don't go to WWE to
be a wrestler,
perform, or be a wrestler.
Yeah.
You watch a match and you're like, okay, formula. The thing that sets apart WWE is like you can't go out in WWE and be bad on the mic. So and that's why they have the best. And it's why other places that you have great wrestlers, but not great mic people.
I do love these vignettes they've been doing with Nakamura, where they're in Japanese with subtitles and they're just airing them instead of having him talk in the ring. I think that gives him a lot more mystique, and then it lets his wrestling talk for itself. Okada, on the other hand, speaks fabulous English. Very articulate, very, very, very intelligent guy. I don't know, man. It's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan, as always, because you've got all these people who could be going, all these different places. Hell, CM Punk could show up at Survivor Series. We don't know. It's in Chicago. I hope not. I hope it's not. I hope it's Randy Orton and not CM Punk in that match. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's look, one of the best pieces of advice, or not advice, but like observations that I've ever been told, is that no matter what decision a business makes, every decision a business makes is a decision to make more money.
Sure.
So by that notion, who makes more money, CM Punk or Randy Orton?
Go with Randy.
I like Randy. I think CM Punk makes a lot of money for WWE for one night, and then he doesn't get his way, and then he just goes into bitch mode, and that's it. I mean, like,
Yeah, but per WWE rules, aren't they gonna like, okay, dude, contract, sit the fuck down?
I mean, they could, but I think that's the difference between Triple H and Tony Khan is that I think Triple H would shut him the hell up real quick, where Tony just lets him run his mouth. I mean, how
Well,
many F bombs
Tony fired him.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah, after he got threatened by him.
Had to. I mean, I think about MJF and the word MFer coming out of his mouth every third word in every single one of these media scrums. Like, I'm sorry, but you are the champion of your company, and the company that airs your company is a publicly traded company, Warner Brothers Discovery, WBD, and they're a subset of AT&T. So you're owned by these publicly traded companies, and F this, F that, F this, MF this, da, 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 da. Screw you, eat shit, die. I want to set you on fire. You're the champion. Act like it. Don't act like a kid. Act like a champion. I don't care what your gimmick is. Act like a champion. And speaking of champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman drives an ambulance back into the arena, and he works
And
Jay
saves
White,
his best friend's life.
saves his best friend's life, and this man works a 29-minute, 45-second match. He jumps off the top rope and he gives him the Randy Savage elbow through a table.
Dude,
Puts his body on the line.
Hang on, let's talk about that table. That table was like, hey, that table had been broken so many times. They're like,
Yep.
They won't even stay together. And like they Jay White put himself up there and just collapsed. And then MJF was like, well, this spot's ruined. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. And continued to jump off with the flying elbow. With a incredibly destroyed knee. Because that knee, if you guys watch, did not have any bronzer on it. So there's no protection on that knee. There's no bronzer on that knee or his lower legs.
JR.
Facts, people.
JR, who wears more bronzer, MJF or Trump?
Probably Trump.
I would beg to differ. Because Trump only bronzes his face. MJF bronzes
that's what we know of.
Neck down. Except for his knees.
Yeah, but Trump puts a lot of bronzer to look like me, so.
Okay, fuck, okay. Yeah. Also, MJF is last night, just gonna put it out there, showing a lot of cheeks, giving Sky Blue a run for her money.
Oh dear.
Dude.
I'm
sorry. My girlfriend Kate was like, MJF with some cheeks flying around. I'm like, yeah, he never skips leg day. Like he puts in the weight, puts in the work. So yeah, a great match because it was literally back and forth. Adam Cole trying to help MJF, then it backfiring at Adam Cole. You're like, no, this is what's gonna ruin their friendship, but then it doesn't. And then he kicks out, and then the Bullet Club comes in. And Adam Cole tosses in the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Jay White gets it, and you're like, no, this is what's gonna happen. But then it's reverse. MJF puts it on, knocks out Gun Club, knocks out Jay White, retains. Adam Cole, MJF, best friends forever, BFFs, with Samoa Joe waiting in the wings.
The brochachos, if you will.
The brochachos.
The brochachos. JR, are you disappointed that we didn't get a devil sighting last night?
I guess. Yeah, we still have to figure out who the devil is. So
I think the devil is either Adam Cole or Tony Khan.
I think Adam Cole makes a better storyline.
Sure.
You know, because
Nobody
like
wants it to be good.
no, because no one wants to be Tony Khan because that's too. I'm malevolent overseer,
Yeah.
and the devil is someone who's not going to stab you from behind. The devil is somebody who's going to ride up beside you and smile, and as soon as you feel comfortable, he's going to stab you in the side.
Yeah.
Like he's there, and all of a sudden you put your trust somewhere you shouldn't have been. And if that's Adam Cole, that's brilliant storytelling. That's a brilliant move on Adam Cole if he's going after MJF. If he's buying his time, I would love to see that.
Would too. I also do not like CM Punk being the devil. I hope that he's not. That would be shit on sticks. No one wants that. So anyway, we've got a really great show. I give Full Gear 4.5 out of 5.
Oh yeah, I was thoroughly entertained. And the thing is also that I really liked about Full Gear was when I've watched AEW shows before, there are fluff matches. They're like, okay, this card's 6 hours long almost, and so you get numb. It's like eating too many Starbursts. You just get numb. And last
Right?
night felt, aside from the Golden Jets and the Young Bucks, I'm sorry, let's just call them the Bucks. They're not young anymore.
They're not.
Other than that match, everything felt perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. JR, I mean, match of the night, Swerve and Hangman or MJF and Jay.
Probably Swerve and Hangman.
Yeah. I'm with it.
I'm going
I'm
MJF,
with it.
MJF, Jay White, only because MJF's butt got my girlfriend engaged, and yeah,
And then she
and Hangman drinking Swerve's blood turned her off. So I'm going with my girlfriend.
There you go.
Drank his blood like a vampire and then spit it out like Triple H,
like the Brood.
like the Brood.
Here
Well,
for
that
it.
was what, grape juice. This was actual blood.
Actual blood. Great show, top to finish. AEW, once again, you outdid yourselves. We're looking forward to seeing at World's End, December 30th, live on pay-per-view. Now, switching gears for just a minute, we there's no rest for the weary because less than 6 days from now, we have Survivor Series, WWE's annual Thanksgiving effort. And this year, for the second or third, maybe fourth year in a row, we've got War Games. Everybody loves War Games. And it's exciting because
I'm
you
making
have both a
brisket for
men's
it.
and a... Huh?
I'm making brisket for War Games.
Friggin', is it going to be... Oh, man, that's right. It is Saturday night. It's going to be... Oh, yeah. We're going to have it on... We're going to have it on. Eat brisket.
JR, I got Friendsgiving at my place on Saturday. I'm making a 20-pound brisket.
Okay.
You can't tell right
7-ish.
now. You can't
Well,
tell
I'm
right
getting
now, but I'm doing the
place.
Enzo Amore dance. Okay. We got 5 matches on this card so far. Let's just go ahead and run them down real quick. We'll do a lightning round on this. JR, you got Gunther and The Miz. Who takes the Intercontinental title?
Gunther.
JR, a chef?
Miz.
Okay. Wow.
There's
Shocker.
no one else. There's no one else who should be able to take that from Gunther, other than
That's
Miz.
fair. Rhea Ripley, the champion, versus Zoe Stark in a singles match for the Women's World Championship. Chef.
Rhea Ripley should pull her head off and drink Stark's blood.
Decimate that ass. JR, do you agree?
Yeah, she'll win, but it'll be maybe almost. I think it'll be runner up for match of the show.
Yeah, I think Zoe's going to show a lot of grit, but in the end, mommy always on top. Carlito versus Santos Escobar in a singles match that should probably be on SmackDown, but here we are. JR, are we going with Carlito or are we going with the hunter himself, Santos Escobar?
Go with Santos Escobar.
It's a shame that, this match isn't for control of the LWO. But obviously, as we saw on SmackDown, neither Zelina nor Joaquin or that other guy whose name I can't remember. I'm so very sorry. They don't want anything to do with Santos Escobar after he turned heel. Personally, I think Carlito is a better heel than Santos, but here we are. The former King Cuerno takes the win over Carlito. Chef, do you agree?
No, I think Carlito's going to take it because an apple a day
Maybe.
keeps the one fall away.
Maybe we've got a little outside interference from the LWO, or maybe it was a red herring and they do side with Santos. Time will tell. The Women's War Games match, we finally have 4-on-4. We've got Damage Control, Bailey, Asuka, Io, and Kyrie. Dakota outside because she can't go because her knee's still jacked up. And we got Bianca, Charlotte, and Shotzi, and the man, Becky Lynch. Charlotte's made a phone call, several phone calls, I might add, as we saw on YouTube this weekend, where Becky Lynch is sitting at her home computer and she's like, no. And she puts the phone down. And then Charlotte rings again. What do you want? No. Hangs it up. And then she calls a third time. Before you, okay. And then obviously she shows up in the arena. So we've got a good War Games match. There's an asterisk next to this, but Chef, who wins War Games? Damage Control or the Charlotte Team Charlotte or Team Damage?
Team Damage, because if you watch Jeopardy, the man doesn't win shit.
Becky Lynch don't know a damn thing.
She don't know a damn thing. So yeah, she is an anchor. She is going to bring them down.
Was that a work, or did she actually not know anything?
She was like over 25.
She didn't get any of the clues right.
She was in the negatives for Jeopardy.
Yeah, I know, but she did that on purpose, or
probably not. She was 0 out of 60. She didn't get a damn single question right and didn't get to play final. Sucks to be her. I hate it for her, man. Jeopardy's hard. I play Jeopardy every night of my life. That shit's tough. JR, who wins the match? Damage or Charlotte?
Damage.
I think that Team Charlotte wins the match after Io, Kyrie, and Asuka turn on Bailey.
Yeah, I could see Bailey losing the match for them and they get mad.
Yeah. I can see. Now, keep in mind, this is a War Games match. This is not a Survivor Series match where it's an elimination match. This is one fall to the finish, which I think is crazy because the name of the show is Survivor Series. You should have at least one elimination match where people get knocked out one at a time. I don't understand that at all. But okay.
I could see also Jade appearing at the end of this match.
Yeah.
Just kind of at the top of the ramp staring at everyone.
Yeah. Okay. We have the men's War Games match. We've got Cody, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day, Priest, Finn, Dirty Dom, and JD McDonough, the newest member of the Judgment Day. Now, looking at it online, they do not have Drew McIntyre listed as the fifth man for Judgment Day. Now, that's peculiar because obviously the other night on Raw, it seemed that he had sided with the Judgment Day and completed his heel turn. Is Drew going to be in this match, Chef?
Yes.
Yes.
I think Drew needs to be a Terminator and just wreck everyone.
Yes. 100%.
Like he just needs to no alliances, kill everyone.
Yeah. And JR, if Drew is the fifth man for the Judgment Day, who's going to be the fifth man for Cody's team?
KO.
Okay.
I think KO's a good choice.
I like KO. I think it's a great choice. The internet is begging for either Randy Orton or CM Punk because it's Chicago. But I like the choice of KO personally. I think that's a great choice. Everybody in the match has history with Cody. It makes sense to have Seth and Cody in the match together. It makes sense with Jey Uso. It makes sense with Sami. It makes sense with KO. But we think about legacy, and we think about Ted DiBiase Jr. and young Cody and Randy Orton and that stable. Randy Orton has been cleared medically, and it's been teased for weeks that he's coming back. Do you like it? Do you like Randy or you like KO?
I like Randy.
JR?
I mean, for storyline purposes, Randy. We haven't seen him in a while. He'll get a huge pop. I think I talked about this on our Instagram messages, like team up with form, 2/3 of legacy again. Like Cody and Randy beat up the bloodline for a little bit and then have Randy turn at Mania.
I like it.
That could be cool.
I like it a lot.
Randy being a
think it
villain
makes-
being a heel is always better than him being a face.
Yeah. Especially bald Randy Orton when he's had his head completely shaved. He was bald and just a murderer. He's the best.
Yes.
Kicking Stephanie
a
McMahon in the
viper.
head.
Kicking Vince McMahon in the head.
Kicked Vince McMahon in the head, sure did. And Shane. The whole family. I think the only one who didn't kick in the head was Linda.
I was like, no, we're not doing that.
It was nuts. That was the best iteration of Randy ever. But yeah, so we've got a great we're gonna have a great show for you guys next week. We will have the Survivor Series recap and wrap up. That'll be our last show for the month of November. And then in December, we will do our annual Best of 2023. We're bringing that back. We're going to each talk about our favorite matches of the year. And then our final show of 2023, we'll talk about which one we thought was the best. So we will have guest hosts. We will have some friends. We're going to have a good time. Talk about some of the best matches of 23. If you guys get a minute, please give us a smash the subscribe button right over there on the YouTube, if you would please. We got Amazon podcasts if you want those. We got Spotify. We got a couple of other things that I don't know about, but Jeff does.
Leave us a 5-star review. Apparently that helps. Shocking.
Yeah, we like reviews. Right? Leave us something in the comments that you want us to talk about on the show. We'll do it. We're cheap, baby. We'll do whatever you need us to do. JR will come back. His heart's good. He's out here playing hockey. He's living his best life. We're happy that he's alive, feeling good. Love you, buddy.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else got anything? Because I'm good. I'm ready to go to bed.
I have one thing. And something we started last week. JR, if you could flash back to any moment in wrestling you'd like to change, what would it be?
Right?
Yeah.
I'd probably go with the Montreal screw job.
Okay.
And then Brett stays with WWE.
Damn.
How would that have changed things?
Yeah.
I think Brett gets handed the reins to be the man, and Hogan goes, wherever Hogan goes.
So Bret Hart staying with WWE would have kept Hogan out.
Yeah.
Also, that would have kept Bret Hart from getting concussed by Goldberg.
Goldberg, yeah.
Right. He will not. He calls him Bill Goldberg in every interview. He won't even say Goldberg. It's like Bill Goldberg, Bill Goldberg, Bill Goldberg. He hates the guy. God, man. Ain't nobody hold a grudge more than Bret Hart. Bret Hart holds the best grudge.
Okay.
God bless
Cool.
you. JR, thank you so much for joining us tonight for the 8th time. You're like our Saturday Night Live 5 Timers Club. We need to get you a jacket.
Steve Martin of Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Please, it's Mr. Steve Martin. I love it. Love it.
All right, boys.
Happy wrestling, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Hit the music. I love it.
For War Games. Generals gathered in the
Is that a war song?